Hi, my name is Laurel at NAU Career Development, and I'm here to walk you through how to write an accomplishment statement. First off, what is an accomplishment statement? An accomplishment statement is a way to describe your experiences in a concise and meaningful way on a resume using a bullet point. The goal is to focus on your accomplishments in your job, volunteer work, or extracurricular positions. So what does that look like, and how do we do it? We can break an accomplishment statement down into 3 identifiable steps. Number 1 is the what. This consists of a strong verb to describe the action. Number 2 is the how. This involves specifying and quantifying the details of your experience. Moving on to step number 3, that's the why. It's a statement of the outcome or result of your accomplishment. Let's take a look at an example of an effective accomplishment statement on a student resume. In this example, Donovan worked as a grant writer at the NAU Community Health Club. How did he apply the what, how, and why when describing his accomplishments at this job? He wrote the what by stating, wrote, proofread, and edited a grant. Here, he begins with that action verb and describes the task. It's a good start, and this is where we see most students stop. However, he continues to add more meaning to the task by stating, to buy health supplies to disseminate to students at 7 schools in Flagstaff. He describes with more background and specifies and quantifies his actions. Moving on to step number 3, that's the why. Successfully receiving $1,500 in May of 2019. This specifically describes the results, actions, and impacts of the work that he did. Now we can see a complete accomplishment statement. Now that we can recognize an accomplishment statement, let's practice writing one. Here we have an example of a bullet point in a resume that we see often. It reads, Microsoft Excel proficient. Now, being Microsoft Excel proficient is a great transferable skill, but we can add more meaning to it by translating it to an accomplishment statement. Let's start with the what. We want to begin with the strong action verb. So for our purposes, we will start with organized. Now let's move on to that second step, the how. Let's ask ourselves, how did we use Microsoft Excel to organize at this job? Well, we worked at a doctor's office and organized patient records. Did we organize a certain number of patient records? Did we spend a certain amount of time every day organizing those records? So to answer those questions, we can say that we organized 2,000 patient records using Microsoft Excel. In this example, we can quantify a specific amount of patient records that we organized using Microsoft Excel. Moving on to step number 3, that's the why. So far we know that we organized patient files for a certain number of hours. But what was the result of our actions? Did we impact others by improving efficiency? What did we accomplish? So we finished that accomplishment statement by saying, to streamline information and reduce the file search time by an average of 2 hours daily. So we can really see the result of our organization with Microsoft Excel and how it impacted others. We now have a full example of an accomplishment statement. It reads, organized 2,000 patient records using Microsoft Excel to streamline information and reduce the file search time by an average of 2 hours daily. For more information on your career journey, visit nau.edu/career or schedule an appointment with a career professional on Handshake.